So we're about to find out right now what they gotta say. Personally, for me, what I believe on this is, you know, it could be and it could be not, depending on what type of woman you marry. So, they always say you gotta choose the right person and stuff like that, so you ain't gotta worry about certain things like that. And things can just happen randomly, but is it an insurance policy? Uh, it, these days it looks like it. But I'm not gonna base that off every single woman. But we're gonna see what they gotta say. Cause actually, I'm just gonna listen. I'm just gonna listen, hear what these people gotta say. So yeah, we're gonna get into this.
And what you're contributing versus its value.
Our tits start sagging, our ass starts getting flat. We ain't got time to be playing with y'all like that.
Just stop playing.
No, marry me or let me keep it moving, because at the end of the day, I can't keep playing these games like y'all can keep playing these games.
Yeah, but you ain't...
it doesn't make any sense. It's a sacrifice as well. Give me my insurance, because I'm taking care of your kids. That shit is hard.
You have to get married at the end of the day. And if you don't get married, he's not willing to marry you, sign a prenup.
Okay,
so I can protect myself.
So now when it comes to men, for us to protect ourselves, we get shamed on. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Rico, and we're back season 4 in at the table. We have a beautiful addition by the name of Crystal.
You guys.
What did we talk about today?
So today we grilled the guys, I grilled the guys. Can you guys be submissive? And I also grilled Crystal about what she brings to the table in a relationship.
Then they had the nerve to ask me, can I be a stay-at-home dad? Not for me.
But wait a minute, I'm a stay-at-home mom, so we just gonna kill that noise right now.
But that doesn't make it okay to...
Hold on. She said, I don't want to be a stay-at-home dad. That's not for me. And she was like, well, she's like, well, I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I'm gonna kill that noise right now. I'm like, that didn't really make sense. Anyways.
To just think that if I'm gonna invest in you, I'm gonna marry you. Because, like I said, if I'm hustling right now and I'm paying for her to go to school, so I marry her, put a ring on her finger to show her I'm serious, it doesn't matter. When she gets to where she got to get to in her life, if she decides to bounce,
you get half.
The end result was going to be, no, I don't get half because she's just starting. There's no half. She doesn't have nothing to offer.
I feel like if you're going to invest in Shorty and you already thinking like, oh, she's going to leave me when she gets on, she's going to leave me. So every move that you make, every benefit that you allow her to have, you have to make sure it's benefiting you at the long run.
So you're with the person now because you think you're on a certain pedestal and they're not. And once they surpass you or get on the same level, they don't need you anymore. So that's a problem within yourself. You cannot think like that.
If I put all my eggs in this basket and this basket breaks, where do I end up?
Now, if
so let me put some type of protection in myself.
You're just projecting at that point.
No, I'm not.
Can I say something, one more thing, real quick? Can I just say one more thing? Now, a man can have sex until he fucking dies and makes kids damn near that whole time. A female is actually sacrificing more because we don't get our looks back, our tits start sagging, our ass starts getting flat. We ain't got time to be playing with y'all like that.
Just stop playing.
No, marry me or let me keep it moving, because at the end of the day, I can't keep playing these games like y'all can keep playing these games.
Yeah, but you ain't...
It doesn't make any sense. It's a sacrifice as well. Give me my insurance because I'm taking care of your kids. That shit is hard. I'm taking care of the home. You got somewhere cozy and clean to come home to, because if you were by yourself, you would just come home to your pissy ass toilet, you're half a fucking shower curtain, and that's how you gotta live. But when you have a female, she's gonna take care of home and make sure everything's good and give you a good space to work in. Our good years are gone. Y'all are still old, getting money and still having young girls, sugar babies and all kinds of stuff, and living your best life, driving a Ferrari. And now I'm all older, my ass is sagging, my titties are sagging, and where's my insurance if you didn't marry me? Like, what do I get out of that? I'm taking care of you. Like, where's our insurance?
Well, you make a valid point. I think I agree with both of y'all, really, reality, because I do agree with everybody. Know I'm single unless I'm married. All right, so you definitely need to get married. That's your insurance for a woman. And a man, we just got to know and analyze exactly who we invest in our time. So if a man don't, and I'm a firm believer in this, if a man don't marry you, which means he's showing you how much he's willing to invest into you. Period. So and now investments for us is kind of a little easy, as what my boy was saying, Rico was saying, is because really, if you were just talking about investing in the financial aspect, you don't got to be my wife for me to invest into you. Let's just be clear here, right? But however, if we are together and we trying to, I think a woman's security is marriage. You have to get married at the end of the day. And if you don't get married, he's not willing to marry you, then he's playing games with you.
Yeah, I was watching a video about healthy and unhealthy relationships, and it was a black man talking, and he said, you should never be in a relationship for 5 or 10 years, and marriage is not the end goal. And he was like, there's no religion against marriage, which is true. And he was like, some people love to say, oh, it's just a piece of paper, it don't mean anything. So when you go to sign $1 million contract, don't sign a contract, just take their word for it, right? Because a piece of paper doesn't mean anything.
That's two different concepts. See, on one side of the aspect in a marriage, I'm going to lose half of my assets, or half of all my assets, so you are well. And if we have children, such and so forth, you will be receiving child support from me as well. So you'll take half my assets and you'll receive child support from me as well till the child is 18 years old, or until the child is finished all his schooling or her schooling. So you get a lot of my assets and resources. That is what I lose, and what you lose is nothing. I mean, you're probably old. I do agree with her. If you're older and stuff like that, you do, you're older, so you can't really, I mean, you still can go mate, stuff like that, but it will be harder, stuff like that. But there's a lot of simps out here, so it's easier, those guys will become stepdaddies and all that crap. And that contract thing, that doesn't make no sense, because take their word for it, they're gonna give you $1 million. Like, the difference between that is I'm gaining something rather than losing something. Signing that contract, it gives you leverage over me, right? That's why personally for me, I believe in getting married in Christ, and I believe in more so of how the Muslims get married, as in they go to the mosque and they marry under God. Like, I like how they do it. And it just makes more sense. And it's like, yes, the contract does not mean anything, because people do get married, and then after like a year, or after like even like 2 months, they're just like, yo, I'm done with this. And 80% of marriages 80% of divorces is initiated by women. So this kind of just like stops whatever she wants to say, because men are not usually leaving. Like, men, they don't usually leave, and there's a big saying, it's cheaper to keep her. You know what I mean? Because let's say I have like $500,000 in the bank, or let's say I have $10 million in the bank. Let's say I've been working since I was like, let's say I made a business when I was 18, and now I'm 35 years old, 40 years old, and now I have 10 million in the bank. I have 5 kids. I'm with you, and let's say everything's going well. Let's say I'm 35, and you're 26, and you got 5 kids by me, and all of a sudden one day you wake up, you're like, I'm not getting this from you, not getting this, you're not giving me enough attention, you're not giving me this, and boom, 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 boom. I want to leave you. I want a divorce. Remember, women are based on feelings, so you feel differently on certain things, and boom, boom, boom. You're not spending enough time with me. Something's happening, right? Now you take $5 million of my hard-earned work. Because remember, you were receiving this $5 million anyways, because you got the lifestyle, you got the security, you get to live a good life, you get to stay home, you know what I mean, and you get anything you want, right? There's a lot of benefits that you receive in that scenario I'm just explaining, right? For example, right, and you take that away from you get $5 million, right? You get $5 million, and then you're probably gonna get $500,000 in child support. every month, right? Because of all the kids and stuff like that. You're probably going to request that. Because most of the time when women get divorced, they're requesting everything from the man. Right? So, you know, it's I understand what you're saying though. Like if she's old and stuff like that, she does lose in that aspect, and I do respect her for giving that point of view. But I'm saying is, if I lose $5 million of my hard work, I'm gonna be like, wow. Even though it went to you and the kids, it's like, yo, I want to be experiencing that with you.
Right.
If that's what you want to say.
So in other words, you saying you have to protect yourself. And
No, he
right?
wasn't talking about protection. He was talking about healthy relationships, healthy investments. You are spending your time and money with this person and your being. So he's like, you have to get married. Married needs, just like how you said, he said marriage needs to be the end goal.
Yeah, because the purpose of marriage and contracts in general is to protect both parties. So that's the root of it. You know, which is why I say it's to, which
Do
is
you
why I say.
believe it's to protect women more than men?
No, I think that I guess definitely because a man can move forward. You can a man move forward like this. She made a valid point. I could be 70 years old and still produce. She can't produce at 70 years old, supposedly, right? But on the flip side of it, if I 100% agree with y'all about protection, right? Getting married to protect y'all. But I also agree that a man should protect himself. If you truly love me, why not sign a prenup?
Okay.
So I can protect myself.
But why is it monetary? Why are we not talking about legally binding? Meaning, if you get in an accident and you're in a coma, your mother and father can't say pull the plug.
Right.
You know,
It's
I'm
more
the
to
one
it.
that you live with. I'm the one that you have children with. I should be able to say what happens.
I
to
agree, but the
way more
prenup don't have nothing to do with you.
You're talking about the prenup.
I'm
now.
talking about. I'm saying to protect us. If we know it's
I was talking
common.
about marriage, baby.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Right.
So we know it's common in marriage that women get married to men and then have a baby by them and then get a divorce, and she was using this man this whole entire time for money just to be financially secure, right? So that happens. Let's not pretend like that does not happen. So I think that to counter that, why can't men have prenups?
No one said men couldn't have prenups. Now, what are the agreements with the prenup? Are we saying you're leaving with the same thing you came in with, or are you getting half? Like, I feel like that's between the person, because
The thing is-
if Rico's starting a business and I'm answering the phones,
Exactly.
and
That's
we
what I'm
get
saying.
married, but the business under his name and he become a multi-millionaire, I was helping him start that business. So you're telling
Probably
me
not even getting paid. Yes. What are you talking about?
But I get you. Listen, I'm not disagreeing.
Okay. Well,
Guess
no.
what?
You better not.
If you are answering the phones of my company for 10 years or 5 years, let's just say 5 years, right?
a year, bro.
Okay, let's say you're answering the phone for a year of my company, and then I become a multi-millionaire, right? You get the flat rate for that year that you would have answered the calls.
You are a shitty person, 'cause do y'all have kids together?
Because what if I
hold on,
answered that
guys.
multi-million
Hold on,
call?
She
I
made
didn't
the call, she
interrupt
answered the call.
anybody. I'm just saying I didn't interrupt, so I would like to speak, right? My thing is, people have, and I say people, anybody who's getting into relationships have entitlement issues because they contribute, right? Now, you have to understand what you're contributing versus its value, right? So if I am the owner of a company and my company becomes a multi-million company, it's not because people were answering the phones. That's not, hold on, slow. That's not something that I could not possess or go out and get. Now you are doing it, and I am grateful for you, so I'm going to pay you exactly what that job was in this company, if you're talking about business. So when it comes to the prenup thing, I'm more so thinking like, why is it that it's such a scare tactic when it comes to like, hey, listen, I'm going to bring you in, right? I want you to sign a prenup. You're gonna leave with whatever you came with and whatever you earned, right? But you see how you do this? So now when it comes to men, for us to protect ourselves, we get shamed on.
Okay, so I'm going to speak for myself. Let's say I have a boyfriend now, and he's telling me like, hey, when you go on your show, talk about this, or you know, be less confrontational, do this. He's grooming me to be the best talk show host, and I signed a multi-million deal. Something happened, and we break up. Our agreement was we have a prenuptial agreement, whatever. I'll make way more than him. I'm sorry, but I'm not putting money into the mix thinking like that. Like, oh, you think you deserve half? You wasn't sitting in front of those cameras. He still helped me, even though he wasn't physically here. And listen, it's not only about my career. He was there when I had my period cramps and I was cranky. He was there when I was sick. He was there when I felt like I was ugly. He took me out on dates. He did.
Are you giving him half?
Yes.
A lot happens in the house.
Let me tell you guys right now, just so you guys know, that she said she is giving him half. We all know this is cap. She's not giving him no half. She's not giving him no half. She doesn't care if he was there for the period cramps and all that crap. If she's initiating divorce, which in that scenario I guarantee she would be initiating divorce, why would you give him half? Why would you give if he initiated divorce? Okay, I don't know what's going on, but let's say she initiated the divorce. Do you think she's really giving him half? Hell no.
When you're in a real relationship, a lot happens in the household. There's a lot of pillow talk. There's a lot of things that will affect you in your workspace. So if you have someone who is contributing to what you do at your workspace, or when I know what kind of woman I am. I am a woman that damn near deserve that half, if not more, because when it comes to business, not only am I giving you plenty of ideas to make your business better, to make it grow, to make anything, I'm that kind of woman. So if it comes down to it and we get a divorce, I know I deserve that half. I don't know about every other woman, but I know damn well that I'm one of those women because I'm contributing to the business and I'm making it damn near what it is.
And I agree, but this is my point, and I agree. That's why I said, Rico, the principle what you were saying, I agree with. But however, I do agree with if somebody's there with you helping you build, that person deserves half.
They do.
Right? You got a children.
Yes.
Why not?
Exactly what you
Listen.
Wait, are you in a partnership or a marriage? Because at this point, like, is it love and connection you're getting married for? Is it like money?
That's what I'm saying. What happened to actual love and like the person?
One aspect of the relationship.
Are you business partners or like what?
No, but listen. The thing about it is the principle what he's trying to say is, which I agree with. Men should protect themselves as well. I 100% agree with that. However, in addition though, I do agree with, ladies, we understand, it's a 6 on the table. Right now, me and Rico looking at a 6. Let me look at the 9, what y'all looking at. I do agree that, a woman should protect herself, and if a woman help build, or a man help build, whatever, right? Or vice versa, it doesn't matter. If you help build and you become some blown up the whole 9 yards, yes, I do. And you got children by this person, why wouldn't you want to see this person? That person deserves half, in my opinion. Now, that's people who build. But if I'm already lit, and I come to you and now because we only spoke on one aspect. This other aspect, so I'm already lit and I meet you. Why is it hard, or why is the frown faces of a man saying, listen, I want to marry you the whole 9 yards, but I want you to sign this prenup?
Not wrong
right?
with that.
Is anything wrong with that?
No, that's not what we're talking about.
Because you spoke on one aspect.
Right.
I absolutely said, y'all speaking about monetary value right now. I'm speaking about, like I said, if I broke my leg and he was there, he took off from work and he helped me heal. The times that, he went through something or I went through something, we was there for each other. You know what I mean? He dedicated his life to me. So if I blow up, then he could have been with whoever else he wanted to be with. But nobody is perfect. We all go through our own stuff. We don't know how any of us are behind closed doors. But that person knows because they've been with you. So if they've been with you, riding with you, supporting you, and I'm talking about a real healthy relationship, but it happens to not work out, they got years of their life they cannot bring back. What if you was a woman that didn't want to have kids? Now this man 50. I don't want to be no dad at 50, miss.
Can I?
Like, you know what I mean? Or you wanted to have kids and he didn't want to have kids. Now you 45. Like, damn, you sacrificed a lot You paying for time loss, basically. That's what you're paying
You
for.
gotta think about it like this, Nikki. Like, first and foremost, that sounds very poetic. That's what I'm gonna say. Why? Because if I can be with you through the thick and the thin, there should be no reason why we go to an end. So let's get to the real.
Go ahead, Rico.
The real is that there's a problem between me and you. We're not working. Right? So this wasn't all, rainbows and sunshines throughout our relationship, because we're going to a divorce. We're talking about marriage going to a divorce. And there's actually a saying that says, whatever the divorce is, divide that time it took, divide the time you started in half, and you've been divorcing for that amount of time. So we were together for 5 years, we've been divorcing for 2.5. Right? So in 2.5 years, shit wasn't good. So you might have gave me great ideas for the first 2.5 years. You might have been there for me, and I might have been there for you. But now you want to talk about non-monetary values. The last 2.5 years, I was busting my ass, and me and you were having problems at home.
Doesn't mean I wasn't taking care of home, Rico. I
And-
probably
but-
still
but-
gave
but
you
no,
some
that's
ass
not-
on a magnet.
That's cool, but
But if I have a children with this woman and my wife helped build, regardless, I don't care if we was married for 10 years and we've been beefing for the last 5 years. Do you think I'm going to just get a divorce with her and make sure she's not okay? Like, that's my daughter's mother.
No,
Like, if she's not okay, my daughter's gonna be looking at their mom not okay. So it's in my interest, right? My best interest, because my investment is those little girls. So I need their mother to be.
See, that's a key word that I disagree with him right there. If he said, my investment is those little girls, why don't you take care of your investment? See, that's the thing. Why don't you take care of your investment? Why am I taking care of anything else but my investment, but my legacy? And in that case, if you have daughters, that's not even legacy anyways. So, I don't know. Person for me, I say in that situation, like you just said, take care of your investment.
At least had peace of mind. So my investment, which is my daughters, my personal interest that I have, that they are okay.
But do you see how automatically the woman is stuck with those kids? So y'all talking about y'all just getting out
I
of
didn't
a
say that.
situation and leaving,
No, I never
and
said
now
that.
you at the club, you popping bottles, you spending money on all of these girls, these strippers, these this,
Go
these
ahead.
that, having a good time, and baby girls at the house with them kids. Give me my motherfucking half, because you living your best life, and I'm over here with your snot-nosed kids. No, we're not doing
Not
that.
everybody's like that. Roz with a good amount.
I'm
of
not
time
saying
with
you,
kids.
I'm saying in general. Most times when they leave a situation, you're gonna end up leaving the kids with the mom. That's how most of the situations go.
Cap. Yep. You know what that's cap? Because I guarantee there's many fathers that said, let me take my kids. I'll take them. But you know, the women want the kids. You know why the women want the kids? Because of the child support, because of the money. Because remember, if I get the kids now, you're paying me child support. And would you want to do that? No. And you know what the blue pill court does? The blue pilled court favors the woman. The reason why the woman is always taking the kids is because she always wins them in court. I guarantee, I'll put this on my life, there's so many men who want to take their kids, but they can't even get them. Man, there's men who can't even see their kids. They want to see their kids more than the woman. As you can see, I've taken your snot-nosed kids. She basically talked about her own kids as snot-nosed kids. Those are your kids too. Talking about my snot-nosed kids. Like, you see that? Snot-nosed kids. So what? Love those snot-nosed kids. Love them to death. But did you really want the kids? Or did you want the money that comes with it? That's basically what you're saying. Not all women obviously think like this. What I'm just saying is, probably a good chunk do. Like, they're basically assets to you because they're bringing in resources. Because if the man got the kids and you're paying them, and the man says you can't see my kids, you're gonna be crying in court. But men have to just deal with this. It's crazy.
Honestly, that's
That's
realistically.
how it always goes.
But that's not always by choice. First of all, that's one. Women take the kids, and I don't know. I still don't understand why women get a right to take the kids without a fair fight for men.
100%.
Good men.
Go ahead.
Not every man, but good men is not. I still to this day don't understand why they automatically win. But whatever.
Because we pop the kids out. You're not in labor. We're in labor.
I mean, all right. So that's a different topic, but we're getting
No,
into
I
that.
feel like it's the same
But what I'm
topic,
gonna,
like,
to get back right.
You didn't have to go through now I'm not gonna say trauma. I feel like that's harsh, but you didn't have to go through the whole process, like the life
trauma.
Okay,
Yeah,
trauma.
but
The
my-
life-changing
okay.
moment. So that's. I feel like it's different.
Wait, hold on. No.
Go ahead,
Stop.
Rico.
We're gonna finish. Let me finish.
Go ahead, bro.
So, what I'm also gonna tell you, Jada, is that over 70% of women file for divorces. So y'all are filing for divorces, and y'all are taking half, and y'all are taking the kids, and now it's our duty to make sure that the women is okay, because at the end of the day, we don't want our kids to not be okay. But let's just flip this real quick. If a woman moves on, and we whatever the case may be, but the father is doing bad, fuck the dad. He's a lowlife. He's a bum. He don't got his shit together. He can't even provide for me and my kids, but you doing good. But you doing good. But like what I'm saying is the spectrum is always flipped on a man to have the losing end. That's all I'm saying.
Because it's a double standard, but I'm okay with those double standards. I was born with broad shoulders. I could take the pressure.
Can I
Listen.
know something? We talk about investments, right? Protect your investment. So, and entitlement in marriage, right? So let's talk about parents, for instance, right? You was a football player. Your mother sent you to training camp.
No, she didn't.
She sent you to the best high school.
No, she didn't.
Now
Come
you
on.
this big
I was in a
football-
public school and I did what I had to do.
Right, in general.
Now you this big football star, right? Is she entitled when you sign your multi-million deal?
You
Is
know-
she entitled to a house?
You
Is
know,
she entitled to a new
First of all,
car?
my mother brought me in this world.
That's right. You
That's
can't
one.
compare.
We're not going to compare my mother to my wife. But don't you ever do that to a man.
All right, now wait. Let me finish. Now versus a mother that wasn't there for you.
So, yo,
A mother that didn't do nothing. Is she still entitled because she's your mother?
No.
You just put.
No.
what?
So, and you know what? So, no, Nikki. No, Nikki.
So you mean the woman that's there for you while you going through this whole process and supporting you?
She didn't bring me in this world. If
If your mother didn't help you, she's still not
not
entitled,
entitled.
bro.
Yo,
But the mother
it's
that
not
did
making
help you
sense.
is entitled, though.
even though she brought me
brought you into the world.
No, I didn't. You guys just proved my
You
point.
sound
If you
crazy.
bring me into this world and carry me throughout my journey, you are entitled. Maybe you can't bring me to this world because you're my wife. But if you help me build this world the entire way, you are entitled.
Well,
Does
first
that
of
answer your
all,
question?
I don't agree with any mother or anyone is entitled. Entitlement is the thief of hard work and progression.
Students with ADHD save 10 hours studying with this Chrome extension.
But no, by all means, go ahead, skip the ad, save a few seconds.
I have to do a lot of reading for my job.
Yo, let me skip the ad.
But sometimes reading.
Yo, let me skip the ad. Yo, let me skip the ad. Let
Stay
me skip the
focused,
ad.
I need-
Yeah, let me skip that. Thank you. Skip that shit.
I'm asking Nikki a question now. Now everybody just, Nikki, have you ever,
Oh my goodness.
Nikki Diamante,
Hold on. What the hell?
have you ever pretended or exaggerated every day? Because you said we don't take enough time to know y'all, but I'm just saying y'all be fake. That's just my question. Every day. Because you said we don't take enough time to know y'all, but I'm just saying y'all be faking. Yo,
I'm
no
a
judgment.
lawyer.
It's no
So the thing with me, I was really, really toxic last year. Last year, really, really toxic. And there were men that I literally knew I had no future with this person. They were placeholders.
and I would tell them anything. Yes, placeholders. And I would tell them anything to like reel them in, to get them to think that I like them or care for them more than I actually did, because it was like an ego boost. Like, to have a guy fiend for you or do anything for you,
I don't know.
You like, boy, bye. I'll be watching the phone ring when you call.
I agree.
So I was very egotistical. I'm not, proud of it. That's very sickening, because if a guy was doing it, if a guy was telling you everything you wanted to hear and taking you out on dates and be like, no, I just want to be friends.
Right.
Like, you said you love me.
Right.
So we gotta give her a round of applause, because at the end of the day, women gets on men when the minute that a man do something, he get all over social media. Y'all dogs. You sitting there Listen, women don't like to admit, but women don't like to admit. See, a man will publicly admit it, but women don't like to admit that y'all be exaggerating a whole bunch of things, knowing that you don't really feel some type of way about this man. But the minute, which is why I tell men, listen, really court or take this person seriously, because women get to hide because they not the ones that propose. If they really love or that will really marry you, they can run all you. The reason why I left him because he didn't pop the question, but you really didn't want to marry him in the first place. But you get to hide behind that, so you got to bring her all the way out to the sea. But you was about to say what, Crystal?
I'm sorry, really quick. It's apparent when people do it, though.
Huh?
I feel like it's apparent. Like, Crystal, I just said I do it for ego reasons, and then there's women that do it for money. So I feel like you don't feel like it's apparent. Like, have you ever been with somebody where it was just like, you thought like this is my boo, but it was just like, nah, like we just having a good time.
Yeah, for me, I feel like
she's having a good time. He's falling in love.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Okay, yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I've been in that situation. For me, it's like, I don't know, if we catch a vibe, then we catch a vibe. Now, I'm gonna be with you and we'll do what we do. And sometimes it might not always benefit you in a way that you thought it was gonna benefit you, but I'm not gonna say I don't care. I'm just gonna be like, well, I'm having a good time. So if you're not gonna say nothing, like, I'm gonna do it how I wanna do it.
So have a guy ever asked you to be his girlfriend and he was like, wait, what?
Yeah. I was like, well, I didn't say wait, what? I just paused. I was like, huh? Like, are you like serious right now?
Did you see yourself with him?
I think I did. I think for me, it's just like, for me to be committed in a relationship, I get very nervous. Because it's like when I'm in a relationship or I'm with somebody, like I'm with you. Like togetherness is a thing for me. Like we're locked in. Like,
so you don't cheat or anything like that?
No, I wouldn't. Like I'm a solid. Like I'm committed.
She's a Scorpio.
We're Scorpios, guys. We're Scorpios.
In my past life, when I was younger, like when I was younger, I'm not gonna say I'm like completely wholesome and I've never like, when I was younger, like the thing about me is like I go off of the vibes I catch with the guy. I go off of like how we interact, and sometimes like in the long run, I needed a little bit more, like I believe in myself enough and like the work that I do and how I carry myself, and like I believe in myself enough where I don't like really look at men like, okay, well you gotta have this and you gotta have that, you gotta have money, you gotta, I'm not that girl, like, and I started to realize like, no, I gotta have some kind of high standard. Because
so what is your standard now?
My standard now, I just feel like, you gotta be able to be in a partnership with me at this point. Because it's like, what does that mean? Partnership where it's like,
what do you have to offer for a partnership?
For a partnership? Wow. I have everything to offer. Like, what? If you have a business, I'm investing. If you want to throw this, I'm planning. If you want to do this, like, I feel like I have enough skills, and I feel like I get my money and I know how to like maintain it if you pitch in something. So it's like I'm your investor, your shareholder, your organizer, your plan. Like I'm all of these things.
Are you emotionally stable?
Emotionally stable, I would say no. Yeah, I have my bad days, but overall, like if we have a goal and we get in somewhere and we're like building towards this, like, and you taking direction or I'm taking direction and you're following suit or I'm following suit, then I'm all in. Like, emotional what?
When a man says, that's the type of woman that they like, how are y'all trying to dictate or
get upset?
Get upset because you have men like, you know what?
that's the woman I would deal with.
Nobody said anything wrong with that.
I mean, obviously, I'm not gonna say absolutely like I'm 100% perfect. Obviously, there's my emotional like flaws that can, you know, eat at somebody else's whatever they got going on.
So
you know
you're
what I'm
crazy.
saying? Every woman a
No,
little
it's like
crazy,
what is
but,
your temperament?
joking, yo.
Are you good with kids? Are you scared of dogs? These are things you got to think about when you're dealing with somebody and you're talking about partnership. What if this person have a dog? What if this person have kids already? Are you good with kids?
Yeah, I'm
That's what
adaptable. I can adjust. Like I'm very like I've traveled a lot. I've moved around a lot. I'm not innocent, so.
Yo, Crystal, I get what you're saying. Nikki don't want to accept it, but I get it.
It's not
Listen,
that because no, I don't want anybody in a relationship saying they could adjust. You are an individual. If you have to adjust too much in a relationship, you no longer become an individual.
So can I say something real quick on that?
Maybe you need to adjust, Nikki.
The biggest room in the house is room for improvement.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
at the end of the day, like you always need to adjust. New knowledge come on the planet every single day. If you still stuck on who you were yesterday and you're not adjusting to the time, then you stuck in a time warp. You need to always constantly evolving. So you need to adjust. You need to adapt. So
Because the person
in order to make things
it's
work.
not always going to be the same person. I'm not always going to be the
same person.
You know,
100%.
we supposed to live 100 years. Like, you think I'm going to be this person for 100 years? No,
I mean,
absolutely
growing and
not.
adjusting is different. If that camera is crooked right there, he could adjust it. But if it's broken, it's still gonna be broken, whether he adjusted or not.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah, no,
So,
And I agree with that.
Oh, wait.
excuse me.
How did
Okay,
that go
with the
to the
toxic
point?
masculinity. Okay.
Yeah, I get out of here.
Don't call masculinity toxic. Don't do that.
I said with the toxic. Okay. The thing is, when we say adjust, like I said, you could be broken, but you could adjust to a situation. I don't want nobody to adjust to me. I want to grow with you.
Well, it's not broken. It's
With
just bending. If the relationship is bending in a way, like, we
But
gonna straighten
when we
it
talk
together.
about
I'ma
healthy
figure it out.
relationships, a lot of y'all don't even. A lot of us don't know what healthy relationships are. When you start to lose yourself as an individual,
What that
I mean, I feel like
that's unhealthy in
No,
a
I understand what
relationship.
you're saying.
So
I'm
you
not
can't be
saying-
with somebody and totally adjust yourself or remove yourself from your previous life. You need to have your own life outside of the relationship. So if you gotta adjust too much,
Now,
like it's
exactly.
it's-
Can I
adjust
comment on that?
emotionally. Like, I'm gonna adjust for my man emotionally because you have to. When men are supposed to go out in the world and be this person and be strong and be this. So I'm gonna adjust. Be like, baby, it's okay. Like, you can talk to me. You could tell me what else you're going through. You could tell me this. So I'm gonna address emotionally. And I know myself.
I
Like,
think you got,
I can be very.
adjustment and supportiveness probably.
No, because
No.
the
I'm
gonna be
adjustment.
supportive.
No, you're not. All right, listen. Can I just speak real quick?
I'm just trying to
And I gotta say
understand
something
y'all.
after you.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna throw it to Jada. What I'm hearing, Rico is hearing, is that she is going to do what is ever necessary to make the relationship work. So she's willing to adjust, right? She's not committed to her. She's not committed to him. She's committed to what the relationship is. If right now for 5 years I need her to do X, Y, and Z, she's going to do X, Y, and Z. If 5 years later
It's not harming
I
me
need
in
her
the
to
long
do
run.
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
gonna lose myself
Obviously,
in the long run.
We're not gonna say complimenting morality, right? But yeah, you're right. So now let's say I need her to do A, B, and C, which is the total opposite spectrum. She's going to adjust to make sure it works so that we both could work and go in the right direction. And I feel like I like this because a lot of times, even myself, I'll be so stuck in what I want to do and how I have to move that if I could lose out on somebody great because I don't want to take a different step. And that's the problem that I think
you gotta
people
learn
is.
how. And so the
Maybe
man,
it's my
You
turn.
gotta learn
so
how to
the man has
adjust.
to adjust.
My turn.
Woman comes in.
Go ahead.
Masculinity.
Go Jada.
So because I know a lot of people don't believe in signs, but because she's my Scorpio sister, I'm gonna just tell y'all this.
Alright, I'm gonna stop the video right there because I'm not trying to hear about this bullshit zodiac sign crap. Because she's my Scorpio sister, like, shut the hell up. Anyways, next, the toxic masculinity comments. Just so you know, just so all the men know, I don't care what the ladies think, really. Just so all the men know, and the ladies too, that shit doesn't exist. That shit doesn't exist because there's no such thing as toxic masculinity. It's just, like, that doesn't exist. Like, anyways, that's the end of the video, you know. I think the conversation ended back in like 25 minutes ago, but, you know, I was just listening in. see this.